we are doing Operation Palpation. This is a app that we're creating for the awareness of coronary artery disease. This is the I can't talk. I'm so sorry. This is the reason why we chose it. So we specifically wanted to target coronary artery disease because it is the most common heart disease within America, and it's also the leading cause of deaths in African Americans. And we specifically wanted to be aware of this problem and show preventative measures for our people. So that's why we chose coronary artery disease. And then our target population is specifically Black men from the ages of 35 through 55. And we chose them because they are more susceptible to getting coronary artery disease. And our age group was picked specifically because within these age ranges, they are more likely to have them or be at higher risk for it.
Yes. And then to go back onto the strengths and weaknesses in terms of our health problem and the justification, some of the strengths in terms of our app, Operation Palpation, and prevention in terms of coronary artery disease are having a balanced diet, an active lifestyle, and nutritional supplements, and something that our app is trying to promote and make sure that's being incorporated into people's lives in order to prevent and help with preventing coronary artery disease. But we also have weaknesses which in a way provide or stop people and act as obstacles from preventing this disease. So examples include food deserts, so people who don't have access and have limited access to grocery stores. Furthermore, not just having food deserts, but also reduce access to fresh fruits and vegetables, which makes it hard because one, it can be expensive to buy healthy options in certain grocery stores, but two, some grocery stores may not even have may not even have fruit or vegetable options for people to buy, and may just have frozen food or food that can be easily fried. Furthermore, drinking and smoking is a problem that people turn to and can turn to as a coping mechanism. And that's when it can become dangerous and further lead to increased risk of coronary artery disease. We also wanted to review our opportunities and threats that are really important when talking about our app and things that we want to include in our app. So, some opportunities that are included are legislation about preventing food deserts, education to spread awareness about the disease. And this is really important in our app and making sure that people not only are taking the right steps towards preventing coronary artery disease, but also making people aware of what is coronary artery disease, why is it very problematic in our community, and making sure people know so they can educate other people within their community. Furthermore, implementing more educational opportunities and advertisement to educate specifically the Black community about not just the disease, but nutrition and wellness to help in all areas of life. And also developing new pop up grocery shops that act as a way to give people more access to healthier food options and to travel to different communities so people who work or who may not have transportation can still get healthy food options. Finally, we also have to acknowledge threats in terms of our app. So, fast food chains heavily profit off Black communities, and so it can be very hard to make decisions between healthy and fast food options, especially when it comes to money decisions. Furthermore, liquor stores are more populated in predominantly Black communities. Almost on every other corner, you'll see a liquor store or access to liquor. Furthermore, it's important to advocate for more food, healthier options in Black communities, but also make sure we're adding more advertisements and PSAs that don't just focus on the positives about healthy eating, but also talk about the effects of smoking, drinking, and bad options that can lead to an increased risk of coronary artery disease.
Okay, so for our app design, we kind of looked at some of the different ones that were on the App Store already. And for example, we looked at the one called Cardiology Marburg Heart Score. And I've noticed with this specific app, it is very generic as far as like its competitive edge. I feel like it has none because it is literally, if you open the app, it's just a test to score you as far as like your risk for coronary artery disease, which I think is great, fantastic. But just because it tells you the risk doesn't is not helping with any other thing. And so within our app, I think it'd be important to also do some type of preliminary question or survey or whatever so that we're able to see, okay, where do I fall within the range of my risk and what steps can I take further in order to do that. And so this diagram shows how, you know, how you're sleeping and how your calories for the day and what activities you're doing are helping you to compensate for potentially getting coronary artery disease. And so another app that we found that was very interesting as far as its UI design that we really liked was the Love My Heart for Women. And so this one would be geared to more the men, obviously, because that's our target population. But what they included was having a heart plan within it and also doing exercises and like picking a plan just specifically for that person so that they're able to do it. And I think that's extremely important as far as having it within our app because if you gear the plan towards a specific person, then they will feel more targeted towards it. And instead of being a very generic one where it's just like, oh, this is made for everyone, we want our app to be specified for that specific person. And then another app that we saw that was useful was the HeartFlow app. This one was I found extremely interesting because it showed a 3D model of the heart, and so I think that aspect is very cool and important because if the person's able to see exactly what's going on within their body, they could potentially be able to prevent. Okay, like this is what coronary artery disease is, and this is how it happens. If they understand how it happens, I think that it would be a lot easier to prevent it from happening.
Exactly. So that's why we present Operation Palpation, Wellness and Health Redesign. Like Aaliyah said, a lot of the competitors in competition is focusing on just one aspect, but we want to look at wellness and health and coronary artery disease prevention from a holistic perspective and from a whole perspective. This app will work as a guide to help build holistic health for individuals in the African American community. While there isn't such a thing as perfect optimal health can be achieved. And so we want to decrease their chances, our users' chances of coronary artery disease as the individual increases their holistic health. So looking at the body, the mind, the spirit, and the emotions, this app will provide proper dietary habits, tips, and tricks and tracking to make sure that they're not just keeping their health on track in terms of exercising, but also looking at food, sleep, mindfulness, like it shows yoga and tips on how to build your wellness and health as a whole and not just focusing on one aspect. And so we use an inspiration from purewebuidribble.com as a guideline for what we want our app to include. So having this aspect of being able to track your activity day to day, showing things like your steps, your distance, your calories, how long you're sleeping, how you incorporate yoga and mindfulness into your day, but also giving tips and ways to interact so that this is not just something that you feel like you have to do or a task, but this is incorporated into our users' lifestyle and it's something that they can turn to every day. And so making sure that there's not only just ease of the app so they can easily navigate where they're going, but they can feel interactive. They can truly interact with this app in many different ways and choose how they interact with this app. And so giving them options to show how they include their calories or their heart rate or their steps so that this is an entire experience on a journey towards health and wellness. Thank you.
Thank you.